The night was cold, the moon obscured by the cloudy sky. 4 stories below, the street was quiet. Only an occasional taxi drove past, disturbing the freshly fallen dusting of snow on the road. While nothing compelled him to be where he was so late on a Friday night, he searched for reasons to stay at the office. These days, all he had to call home was a lifeless apartment. He stared out the window behind his desk, watching the snow fall, wondering if it were true that no 2 snowflakes look alike. At first he did not hear the phone ring. Lost in his random thoughts, he merely sensed the disturbance in the air around him. Like a Pavlovian dog, he picked up the phone, held it to his ear and said in a monotone, "Thomas Kincaid Detective Agency." The CNN anchor read from the teleprompter, "Al Jarreau, the pop and jazz singer, recipient of 7 Grammy Awards, has died of respiratory failure. He was 76 years of age." Man, thought Jules. Just 2 days ago, Al announced his retirement. Was it his body that gave way, or was it his soul? Al always seemed happiest holding a microphone with a small jazz group behind him. On many nights, Jules was a guitarist in one of these groups. At the age of 63, Jules wondered how much longer he had left in his career. Being one of 5 or 6 musicians in a group was certainly less taxing than being the headlining vocalist that Al was. But Jules was finding the late-night gigs he had played since he was a teenager to be more of a dread than something to look forward to. The only reason he had not retired by now was that he wondered what he would do with his nights if he no longer performed. Was it the joy of playing guitar with a group of friends that still drew him to the club 4 nights a week? Or was it the fear of death that kept him playing? Strolling through Montmartre, the realization that he was back in Paris was beginning to sink in for Max. Even though he had traveled to Paris several times, the young artist still felt the spirits of Manet, Degas, Renoir, and other great painters. While the Place du Tertre was now occupied by amateurs who would try to draw a tourist portrait for 20 euros, Max could still envision Pablo Picasso and Maurice Utrillo sitting at a cafe drinking wine and animatedly debating what made a painting great. Before long, Max found himself walking along the Seine, looking at the weekend artists with their easels and berets painting the same image of a Parisian landmark that thousands before had sketched or painted. For Max, the inspiration for true art was found in the parks and gardens of Paris that had not seen a tourist for at least a decade.